You, Netflix's serial killer drama, was equal parts intriguing and incredulous in almost the exact same ways that Showtime's Dexter was. In fact, it's extremely easy to put the two shows in the exact same subcategory. Now, Joe, much like Dexter, is a conventionally attractive, I suppose, extremely charismatic guy who happens to be a serial killer. Characteristics that, on their face, are designed specifically to make us, the audience, forget just how dangerous they are, maybe even to the point where we begin to root for them. I mean, that's what you need to get an audience to watch a show like this for 5, or in Dexter's case now, 10 seasons if you count the spinoff shows. But we watch Joe do away with people that he thinks of as bad people in You, just like we watch Dexter dispatch those who escaped the clutches of the criminal justice system in Dexter. And we watch Joe kill or set up people that got in his way, just like Dexter did as well. Both men even had sons, only sons in fact, that, both had their mothers die at some point during the series. And as we watch the bodies pile up in both series, one can't help but eventually ask the question, how will this story end? And though the final season of You was up and down, to be kind, and the writers definitely placed their thumbs on the scale throughout, quite heavily in fact, especially when it came to character arcs, some of them being quite ridiculous, Netflix, the showrunners and the writers of You apparently learned the most important lesson from Showtime and the creative team behind Dexter, that you can't have a main character do the kind of things that Joe, or Dexter, did and then have them skip off into the sunset unscathed at the end. The story absolutely has to take its pound of flesh from its anti-hero. Now, I've always contended that Dexter's story absolutely has to end with him in prison getting the needle, if the storytellers care at all about telling a proper story, that is. Therefore, Joe also had to be brought to justice, and after finally watching the show from start to finish, though the second half of the final season was messy as hell, and the ending as a whole was quite silly if you ask me, ultimately, I think he was. And that alone makes You the better show of the two, because when it comes to writing a story, I keep telling you guys, it really is all about the ending. And the show's many missteps notwithstanding, Joe Goldberg's ending turned out to be just right.